All right. We're live. Yay. I love the live. So if you're here, you are listening to Beyond Cancer with Marina Blackford. And I'm so excited to do the first live of November 2024 because I want to share with you all the big stuff I did over the weekend. It was so amazing. I want to share that energy with you, talk about why I did it, what's next. And I want to see what's next for you guys on your cancer journey. So if you're here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you don't miss notifications for when I go live. I go live twice a month to answer your cancer questions, to give you support, to feel part of a community instead of just sitting back and watching tip videos all day long. So I welcome you to subscribe so you don't miss notifications for when we're live. So make sure you comment if you join us live. I love to see the comments. I love to feel the love. So I really, really encourage that. All right. So what's going on? Yay. First comments on. Hi, Crystal. So good to see you. So good. And I love returning subscribers. I mean, that's like what gets better than that? We feel like we can support each other through this. I know Crystal's gotten through her treatment and last live shared that she is cancer free. So I love that. Shout out to Alma. Thank you so much, Alma, for being here. Alma is a member and you can be a member on my channel just to help support me in my mission of helping others. So thank you, Alma. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on, right? If you're here, I'm a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and I share tips for getting through chemo, radiation, surgery, and learning to thrive again. And I want to actually talk about that word thrive a little bit. We just finished October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you made it through, congratulations. It's a lot of pink, it's a lot of breast cancer awareness. Hi, Amy, regular subscriber. And my other friend, Crystal here. Thank you guys. All right. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and you can't miss it, right? We've seen it all on TV. We see football players wearing pink shoes. We see, local walks. I love all of it. I'm more than just the awareness, the importance is reminding people to get their checks and raising money for good causes like research funds. I'm a big fan of the Triple Negative Breast Cancer Foundation, and the Breast Cancer Research Fund is another great one. I also raised money to run in the New York City Marathon on behalf of the Young Survival Coalition. They help young adults diagnosed with breast cancer so no one has to face breast cancer alone. That's why you're here. And if you need more personal resources, you can go to their website, Young Survival Coalition. They applied to be a charity for the New York City Marathon and were accepted. So this was their inaugural year, and I was their 6th bib that they obtained. So 6 of us ran on behalf of them in the New York City Marathon this past Sunday, and it was amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to talk more about that, like what it was like, why I did it, all of it. But I want to jump to some of the comments again and just keep the flow going of everybody showing up. So Crystal said she just finished her first week of radiation, 2 weeks to go. Yay. Keep going, Crystal. You're just getting through it. I'm so proud of you. Mafanta, hello. Amy says, congratulations on your marathon. Thank you so much. So cool. An amazing thing to do. It was my 5th marathon. My first marathon since having 2 kids and cancer twice. My last marathon was 8 years ago, the Boston Marathon, which I ran 1 year after being diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. So that's the story. Sassy says hello. And Crystal, WTG on running the marathon. Wait, what is WTG? Way to go. Way to go. Way to go on running the marathon. Thank you so much. So breast cancer awareness, right? It's October, so here we are in November. How are you doing? How are you guys doing? You doing okay? Sometimes pink months are a little hard for me. Last year I felt that. I was like, I just needed a break from seeing all the things. This year I was okay. I mean, I dove into pink month. I did some things throughout the year, to raise awareness for breast cancer. So I was just okay with it this year. sometimes you need to step back if you need that, and sometimes you can step into, and it might actually feel really good to be a part of something, either signing up for a walk or run or volunteering. In the past, I've even just been the person that gives the race packets out for people that did breast cancer walks. So there's so many different ways that you can get involved if you're not prepared to do a 5K. So just think about that for the future, if that would be something of interest to you. Um, all right. So I want to continue my thought on all of this a little bit, which is uh so with breast cancer, I'm losing my train of thought. I don't think it's chemo brain, but I ran the marathon, and here's why I ran the marathon. I like to set a goal and achieve it, and a marathon is a huge one. And again, it had been 8 years since I did that, but um setting this goal for me was just huge this year. This is something that I think it actually when I finished running Boston, I said, "I don't wanna do many of those, but if I do one more, it'll be New York." And my husband put out this goal of doing it by 40. This year I would turn 40, and I'd apply to this charity on the last day to apply. And then I freed up some time in my schedule, right? I decided I'm gonna stay home with my kids and fully commit to coaching and doing YouTube, and that's when I got the call. So it's just funny how life goes sometimes. So, one, being very specific, like I want to do this by put a date to it, put an age to it, put whatever, some timeline to it. That's also how I started YouTube, by the way. I put a timeline to, I'm going to record and edit a video and put it on a channel by this date. It was at my 5-year mark, and it wasn't the best quality. It's not the best sound, but giving myself that timeline made sure I just did it. Um, but it also helps bring that stuff to you to have specifics. So here is my train of thought. I'm circling all the way back around to the word thrive. You guys heard this, right? You're not just a fighter or a survivor, you're a thriver. I want to be honest. I want to be completely honest. I used to cringe a little bit at hearing people say they were a thriver, because I didn't always feel like a thriver having cancer twice and stepping into motherhood and just I don't know. I don't know what it was exactly, but I just know that when I saw that word sometimes, I it bummed me out a little bit, and maybe it was a social media thing, but I just wanna be honest with you guys. So, there are times when I've seen the word thrive and thriver that I just was like, I'm not that. Like, that's just how I felt, and that's just being honest. So, I wanna start with being vulnerable, right? I've survived breast cancer twice. I am a survivor every day. I have ran marathons, and I am so lucky to live a life that I can primarily be home with my kids, but sometimes you just don't feel like thriving. And so I wanna talk about that because I have actually stepped into it. I feel like I am thriving, even when I feel like the day's not perfect, even when I feel like things aren't perfect. I'm constantly learning and growing as a person. But I think sometimes if we allow ourselves to imagine that we could thrive again, that it will happen. So I just want to encourage you that if you're in the space that I was at one point, you were like, I don't feel like I'm thriving. I feel anxious. I feel bloated. I feel like my hair doesn't look the way I want it to. I have been there. And I can tell you, I believe it gets better. And I believe it gets better with probably admitting that you don't feel like you're thriving, because that's at least acknowledging where you're at. And so you know where you can go. Okay. So to the comments. Oh, I hope that came out correctly. I'm always like, "Oh, does that make sense?" Okay, Crystal, I finished radiation on October 31st. You're such an inspiration. Congrats. Thank you so much. I've been where you're at, guys. I've done chemo, I've done radiation, I've done double mastectomy, I've done lumpectomies, I've had a staph infection. Like, I've had it, guys. I'm telling you. And there are times when I was actually in treatment that I felt better than I did after treatment. That sounds crazy, but true. Like mentally at times in treatment, I had never been more focused on taking care of myself And I think for me being after treatment and then also, like, raising a family, sometimes, like, I feel like I don't always put myself first. And my husband will be the first to admit it. He's like, "Just do less." And sometimes we need to hear that, and it makes us angry to hear it. Like, "What do you mean do less? Like, laundry doesn't do itself." But it's so true. Sometimes you just need to, like, acknowledge where you're at and just give yourself a break. Okay. Martha, hello, Marina. Congratulations on your marathon. Thank you. And I just ran a marathon. Look at me. Yeah. So I do this to myself, guys, and I love it. I love it. I was so happy about the marathon. I want to share more about that. Crystal, congratulations. I hope you and your radiation journey. Oh, Crystal is acknowledging to Crystal that her radiation journey is smooth. So that's what you get when you come to the channel. You don't just get to feel heard, but you get to support others. And that's the beauty of this community. So thank you guys so much. All right. New York City Marathon. This year was officially the largest marathon in history with 55,000 runners. I believe it was like 55,400 runners, something like that. Incredible. Incredible. Dream come true. If you're here on the channel and you're new to this, again, I'm not here to coach you guys to run a marathon, but I'm here to show you what's possible. So if you're like, I've always wanted to run a 5K, it's possible. It's possible at every point, maybe not in the middle of chemo, but it is. You can do it. I've done it. So this was a dream come true for me. It just signified so much. It signified that I could do it, that I could put my mind to something and train and meet a goal. And the energy of the city is incredible. There's nothing like New York. I mean, we stayed right in Times Square. So day one, we show up. If you guys missed some of this, please go to my Instagram and I will continue sharing some updates because when you run a marathon, you have a right to brag about it for a little while. I'm just going to be obnoxious and say that. But go to my Instagram at Marina Blackford or Beyond Cancer Coach. But I shared a lot there. We show up Friday, roll into Times Square with our luggage, my husband and I, and it's unusually busy, like nuts. And there's barricades and police, and we're trying to cross the street to get to our hotel, which is literally the hotel that like the ball drops on, the Renaissance. And it's just crazy. So we get to our hotel and we're like, what is going on? And they're like, I think there's going to be a little secret concert out there in Times Square. Huge screens lit up. We get up to our room, we open the window, and out of the screen, the stage starts to come out of a huge screen in Times Square. And it is two performers. It was Ice Spice and Snoop Dogg. And they did like a 30-minute concert outside our window in Times Square. It was incredible. It was put on by like Fortnite. So that was moment one of being in New York City. And then the next day was the expo, picked up my packet, got a bunch of photos there, thanked all my donors that donated to the Young Survival Coalition. Thank you. And I just filled up with energy. I did a quick interview with Marathon Running Podcast. So I don't know if she'll post that. She hasn't yet, but she is on YouTube. So that was fun. And went to see a play, went to Broadway and saw Back to the Future. Incredible. Love stuff like that. And had an amazing Italian dinner at Patsy's Italian, which is the one and only location in New York, and just carb loaded. So I rested up. The next morning was the daylight savings time change, which was to a benefit. Got on a packed subway, rode it all the way south on Manhattan, got onto a packed ferry, like to the brim. Well, I mean, like legally they kept it safe, but I mean, like there was just droves of people getting on a ferry to Staten Island where we would start our race. So it was an incredible experience. We ran from Staten Island over the bridge into Brooklyn to Queens, the Bronx, and back into Manhattan and Central Park. So just fantastic experience. There's cheering the whole time, the funniest signs you've ever seen, like, therapy would have been cheaper. you know, don't trust a fart, like all these funny marathon signs that people put it. And it just had us cracking up the whole time. And giant pictures of people's dogs, giant pictures of people's faces. It was so awesome. My husband came, my sister and her boyfriend, and I just felt the love so much. And I almost cried finishing the race, but I was just incredibly grateful to be stepping across the finish line as a 2-time breast cancer survivor. So that's the story. That's how it went. I encourage you all to dream. I encourage you to dream as big as you want. I think cancer robs us of that sometimes. Like, you can't dream past getting through treatment, chemo, radiation, surgeries. Like, it's such a big deal. And coming out of that involves healing, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And I just want to tell you guys that's okay. Like, create that space, create your safe space, but don't be afraid to dream after that, because I think you deserve it more than ever. As a survivor, you have been through a lot and you should be doing something that lights you up. I don't know what that is for you. I think that could be something you could explore after healing. Is it volunteering more? Is it taking that vacation with your family? Is it doing a 5K? Like, whatever it is, just don't forget to live, because you've earned it. That's what you're here for. All right. So, oh, what is this name? How fun. Hinted by Marina. It's her channel. Hey, Marina. Hey, everyone. This is my first time catching it live. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for commenting. I love seeing new subscribers, people that are joining. Thank you. I do 2 lives a month. So subscribe so you get notifications for when I go live. The next live will be next Friday, the 15th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I might squeeze in another one the week after that. I'm just going to see how November goes with holidays. On the channel, I think I'm going to record some videos. I have a couple videos. So if you haven't seen them lately, I'm trying to line up with some products that could help people. So I have the red light therapy cap, I think is really cool. I've been using it and it feels really good. It's just warming and it's good for your scalp. So I'm a fan. I have 2 videos coming out that will help people during treatment. So those will be sponsored videos, but I do think they'll help people. So those will be dropping this month. But I'm just going to create some more tip videos. I'm going to probably recreate the ultimate chemo bag and probably a self-care video just for the holidays, because I think, why not? But with that being said, I am a fan of self-care stuff. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm just like a fan of stuff that cues you to like, hey, let's sit and use this scalp massager. I don't want you guys to ever feel like you have to get everything that everybody puts out there on YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, TikTok. Um, I want you guys to really pay attention to like something that really resonates with you. I think going into the end of the year is going to be holidays and family stuff, but I want you guys to just really focus on yourself. That was actually the title of a podcast I just finished listening to by Mel Robbins, and I think it was great. Came out a couple weeks ago. So check that out. Mel Robbins, Focus on Yourself. She does an interview with Dr. Pooja, a psychologist, and they talk about boundaries and what does it mean? Like, we all hear this word boundary and putting up boundaries. Sometimes boundaries is not just saying no, it's just pausing before we answer whether we can do something or not. And they also talk a lot about that. Like, let's talk about, if I'm saying, guys, yoga's so good for you after surgery, it's good for stretching and relaxing. Like, I enjoy it and I enjoy it at home and I enjoy it at the gym. But if you're doing it because I said, really tie yourself to why you're doing it, because that's what's important when we're doing self-care, when we're doing yoga, when we're buying the scalp massager, when we're buying the red light therapy hat, whatever it is. Know your why. Why am I doing this? Am I doing it because I need this break? Am I doing it for a community because I like going to a class? Am I doing it for that, because I have a pain and I want to see if this will help? Like, really, really know your why. So that way it's more meaningful to you. It's not like Marina said, I need to do this, or anybody. Like, that is, again, it's just tying yourself to what you need, and your why is going to be something that helps you start to thrive because it's empowering. And that's what I am, guys. In case you didn't know, I'm a certified cancer coach. I'm a certified life coach. I help empower women to thrive again. And I don't shy away from saying that word anymore. If you're just catching the live now, I was talking about thrive and how I just felt like at times I didn't like that word. I didn't like that. I didn't feel like I was thriving. I literally felt anxious. I felt like, am I doing things right? everything. Like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing in life right now? Very big stuff. And when I really could like sit with it and have the conversation with myself and with my husband and with looking at my life, that when I finally started to like focus more, then I really could like let the other stuff fall away, and then I could thrive again. Training for the marathon became my focus. Enjoying my kids has always been my focus. And changing job roles for me this year has been a big, big part of me learning how to thrive again. But here I am, YouTuber and cancer coach, and I couldn't be happier to serve the community. So thank you guys for being here. Truly. All right. So I want to make sure if anybody has any questions or anything, go ahead and ask. Put them out there. This live is for you. Okay, I want to check back with my itinerary. So we talked about New York City Marathon, how incredible that was. Just that's the thing too. So I'm totally trained to run 26.2 miles right now. I ran it in my goal under 4.5 hours. So 4 hours and 24 minutes. My fifth marathon, slowest marathon, but exactly where I knew I would be. And that's something to really acknowledge too. And there's times in life, especially after treatment, you're like, why don't I look the same? Why can't I move as fast? Why can't I lift as much? Like, let time heal, it'll come. And then know where you're at. Don't compare yourself to where you were before treatment or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, because you're not the same person regardless. So like really, really know where you're at. Um, so that was my marathon time. But yeah, it was today's a little unfocused for me. That was my marathon time, and I'm super, super happy with it. What else is coming up? The next live, I will probably talk about some of these items that could help you relax for the holidays. So maybe I'll bring some more of that in. And I want you to again focus on what do you need right now? What is going to light you up and serve you right now? Um, Light on the comments today. I usually get more from you all. Okay. So, setting your boundaries, highly recommend that podcast by Mel Robbins. Check that out. What else do you guys have for me? What do we need to talk about today that we're not talking about? I feel like there's like somebody must have something. Amy. Speaking of holidays, last Christmas morning, I woke up and broke down because I didn't know if I would be here this year. But I'm here and so beyond thankful to be alive. Thank you for helping me through this year. I'm so happy you said that. Thank you. Oh, I felt the release with that, Amy. That is so true. That's why these times of year, whether it's October or the holidays, can be so triggering for us. Like, you were somewhere else a year ago, whether it was not having cancer or whether it was in treatment or being diagnosed. And then you've made it full circle calendar year. And now you're like, whoa, I have time to reflect on that. That's big. I'm incredibly thankful you're here, Amy. You have been such a support for the channel, and you have been in my prayers, and you never are shy about kind of sharing, your ups and downs. And I think that is what makes all of this so real for all of us, is for us to just really be vulnerable and share. Thank you so much. That was perfect. Um, so if you guys are in treatment and you're just feeling like, I don't know, like you're not thriving, show up here to the lives. I encourage it. But also, text a friend, text three. I've said that at different times too. If you're ever feeling like I haven't heard from people, I'm feeling really down, I like to, at that moment, reach out to three people in my life. I like to ask three people how they're doing with no intention of them asking, how are you doing? I truly come at it from a selfless thing. If I'm feeling down, let me shift this energy to checking on others. And if you do that, it can change your whole day. Having friends that you've connected with or family to ask them how they're doing. And it just sparks this energy of like love. And that's all we need ever in this life is just pure love, whether we're sharing it, whether we're giving it, receiving it. Um, that's what it's about. That's what all of this is about. And I'm going to be bold to say, I think during the cancer journey, I think it's the biggest moment that you should pause and acknowledge whether you've been loving yourself as much as you could. Are you feeling guilty about things you're not doing? Are you feeling anxious about the what ifs? That's normal. That's part of the human experience to have those thoughts. But part of the human experience is to let that stuff go and just remind yourself that you are worthy of total love just as you are. All right. Amy Lee, I just been diagnosed 6 days after my 40th birthday. God, doesn't that just stink? You're like, I just wanted to celebrate like new decade, new era. And then you just feel knocked down. And those are those moments that I feel with you guys. It's like, whoa, I couldn't even imagine thinking of the word thrive at that point in my life. Like I was just like, what do I need to do to get through this and survive? Right. And be where you're at now. Crystal, it has been a true blessing to connect with you. December 1st last year, I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple negative breast cancer. You, your videos, and your lives really pushed me to get through this. Thank you so much, Crystal. There's been times that I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And I just let that go at some point and said, let me just keep doing till I can't. The lives are so easy to do. There's no editing here. It's just easy. And I just enjoy it. And to get that feedback means a lot. So thank you so much. I'm gonna keep going. Y'all gonna just keep seeing me. Crystal, I honestly was so hopeless and had so much anxiety, but now I put both feet on the ground every morning and so thankful for where I'm at. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for being vulnerable with me today. Crystal, Amy, other Crystal, all of you that are here. Um, Hinted by Marina for showing up here for your first live. Uh, it just means a lot to feel like we're not alone in these feelings. Like that at times when you go to social media and you see people doing so well, you're like, I am not that. But when you come to this channel, I try to give you tangible tips and be part of that journey with you. I have been there. I've been in the trenches, as you call it, right? I've just been through it. And then look, guys, like I'm cancer free. I have hair again. I've lost it twice. I've lost my breast. I've had multiple surgeries. I've had a hysterectomy. Like it's crazy. But look how much we can bounce back. I can walk into a store right now and nobody knows that I went through all of that except for you guys. So that's really what it is too. So showing up here is empowering yourself, letting you know that there's life after cancer. You're not alone, and you could run the New York City Marathon if you want to. Um, it again, just dream big, guys. Dream big. You deserve it. As we come to the end of the year, let's bring the focus back to you. Remember to set those healthy boundaries of what you can do and what you might not be able to do as much, it's okay to say no sometimes, but say yes to the things that you enjoy doing. If you're like, no, I love making that thing for Thanksgiving dinner, I'm making it. Do it. Like, enjoy. This is part of being a survivor. And I want to remind you from the day you're diagnosed, you are a survivor. You don't always have to be tied to that word fighter. We don't have the energy to fight all the time. You are surviving by getting up and get going every day for what you have to do to live. So that being said, I have a new comment on. Hold on. Oh, some new comments. I'll say that being said, I'm almost going to wrap up today, but I want to get in the last comments because that's what we're here for. So, Esmeralda finished 12 Taxol chemos, just started AC chemo a week ago and have 3 left, then double mastectomy, which has me a little nervous. Esmeralda, thank you for being here. I have done all of the treatment you just mentioned, as well as probably some of the people that have just commented. Um, the surgery, yes, it's so normal to be nervous. It is obviously very doable. The doctors you are with have done a lot of these, so ask all of your questions so that you feel like you can prepare for that. Before having a mastectomy, I had a friend of mine do pictures for me. I did really beautiful pictures. So I have some like kind of, pictures of my breasts before. A friend of mine just did an art display here in Phoenix of her breasts that she cast a mold of before each surgery. So sometimes there's ways that you could honor your breasts if you're if you feel like that's, part of your motion too is losing them. Some women are like, be gone, bye, it's fine. But this is it. We're all different on this. So do what you need to do so that this next part of your journey, I guess, can be a little easier. I hate to use that word, but it is. And then for me, I always found faith in knowing that this is what I had to do to have the best odds to not have cancer again. And I'm okay with that. I have the genetic mutation. I am aware of eating better, and we could all eat a little better. But if this is what you have to do to be cancer free, then then do it so you can go live a long, healthy life. But make sure you're very comfortable leading into that with all of these decisions. And I'm sorry you even have to make these decisions and do this stuff. It sucks. I'm just gonna say it. Okay, Amy Lee. You are really good at encouraging us. Much love to you and everyone watching. I love it. So I want to send you guys some November love, some fall vibes wherever you're at, crunchy leaves, hot tea, cocoa, coffee, whatever it is. Enjoy this fall time. Remember to dream big, guys. I just ran the New York City Marathon and you can do whatever it is you want to do. Just put it out there and make it happen. You deserve it. The next live is in 1 week. So let's chat again Friday, November 15th, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for coming to the live. I'll see you next time. Bye.